So what I'm talking about today is surviving Compton. I hope you guys had a chance to tune in last night on Lifetime. I actually don't have a TV yet in my new place, so I was streaming it online. I had just enough time to tune in, so I didn't miss too much in the beginning. But let me just start off by saying that I enjoyed the movie. I think that Lifetime did a really good job, and I think that, they get flack sometimes for some of the work they do. Okay, let's not forget the Aaliyah movie that Wendy Williams did. Didn't do so well, but I really think that they brought it with Surviving Compton. Ryan Nicole Brown, she did a great job as Michel'le. This was her side of the story. Basically, the women were left out of Straight Outta Compton, and I wasn't really around during that time, but after doing my research, I would hear about people like Dee Barnes and other people Dr. Dre was hitting on. I was like, oh wow. And Straight Outta Compton, they looked like such good guys, and a lot of people say there was fantasy in there, people who were living, I guess, working with NWA at the time. So it was really interesting to hear Michel'le's perspective. And it was also just very sad to see that she was basically raised to believe it's okay for a man to hit a woman, and also she stayed and put up with the abuse by Dr. Dre because I guess she thought at one point it was going to stop, or that's just what she needed to do to survive. So let's get into today's topic. So in the movie, I thought that everyone did a really great job. Actually, the guy who played Suge Knight in Surviving Compton, he's the same guy that played Suge Knight in Straight Outta Compton. So I thought that was interesting, but hey, he got to make money too. But yeah, the movie was very interesting. Just like even the first scene or the first time you see that Dr. Dre is beating Michel'le, I believe it's like in a bedroom scene, and I saw some commentary the director did, during that time. She said it was very like raw and emotional, and you just saw Dr. Dre just knock Michel'le in the face a couple times full force, and it was just very sad to see. I know in 2015, I think when Straight Outta Compton was coming out, he gave some apology saying, he's sorry for the women he's hurt in the past. Does he mean it or not? I don't know. I'm just going off of what I read. But actually, I found a couple of things interesting about the movie. One was that I know Dr. Dre had so many children by different women. I know in the beginning of the movie, the girl who plays Michel'le, and let me just say, I loved her in Lincoln Heights. Her name is Ryan Nicole Brown. I don't know if you guys remember Lincoln Heights. I think her character was Lizzie on the show, but she did a really great job. She was confronting Dre in the movie about, the children he was having with different women, and I don't know if Dre just never wrapped it up or what was going on, but he just had a lot going on. But it was interesting to see how their relationship played out and how he would manipulate her and abuse her. And, basically when she was pregnant, that's what she saw kind of as saving her from some of the beatings Dr. Dre was giving her. And even after that, when her relationship with Dre ended. And it was interesting to see how, I guess, Dre went away for a couple of months. And I think at this time, was Michel'le in rehab, I believe. And when she came back, she found out that Dr. Dre had gotten engaged to his now wife, Nicole Young, and kind of just, left her out in the cold. So, yeah, it was a very interesting movie. But yeah, after Dr. Dre and Michel'le's relationship ended, she got involved with Suge Knight, who, kind of helped, or I guess at the time she thought that he was helping her. In the movie, he brought her like groceries. When he went to jail, he agreed to pay her like $30,000 a month if he'd come see her. She signed some papers, and she was helping manage death row when he was behind bars. And he said they got married, but it turns out he was really still married to his wife. I believe her name is Sharitha. So it was just a whole bunch of mess. Michel'le has been through so much, but I'm glad she was able to rise out of the ashes and tell her story. Something else I'm sure a lot of you guys know is actually, this isn't the first time that, Dr. Dre has put his hands on a woman. And let me just pull up this article I found. Alright, so it's actually from thoughtcatalog.com, and it's called Here's a List of All of the Women Dr. Dre Beat Up Just in Time for Shadow Compton. So this was published in August 2015. The first woman on the list is Terry B. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Tyree B. It says that angry because Tyree said Dre looked like a faggot when he went with the group World Class Wrecking Crew and daring not to invite him to collaborate on her first album, The Powerful Woman, which was released by Eazy-E's label. Dre confronted Tyree at the 1990 Grammy Awards. There he punched her in the face twice. According to Tyree, he hit me like Tyson, but I took it, I don't know how. And I think she did a diss track about that. The next woman is someone's name that we did hear come up a lot, especially when Shadow Compton was about to be released, is Dee Barnes. So Dee was a radio host and rapper herself in the late 80s, early 90s. In 1990, she did an interview on Pump It Up with Ice Cube over why he was leaving NWA. And the interview was interesting, especially since Cube was always the most talented and personally interesting member of NWA. So once again, I'm reading this from thoughtcatalog.com. However, Dre felt like Barnes made NWA look bad, and a few months later, 1991, Dre bumped into her at a party where he grabbed her by the hair and smashed her face into a wall. Then, when she went down on the ground from that, he started kicking her in the ribs and stomping on her hands. When she ran away to hide in the bathroom, he followed her and started hitting her in the head. And I think I read she also suffers from pretty bad headaches and things like that to this day because of that beating Dr. Dre gave her. So I know Dre, he didn't come from that great childhood, but I think the way that he was beating up on these women, it's definitely not acceptable. I understand he has beef by Dre, he has a successful company, and you may want to try and brush it under the rug, but I think, no. I know he's trying to sue Michel'le or maybe Lifetime for this movie for portraying him in a bad light, him and Suge Knight, but, this is nothing new. This has been out there for a while. It's just, resurfacing, but it's like, just because I guess you're a new person now doesn't erase, the harm you've caused these women in the past. But I know Dee Barnes, she wasn't in Surviving Compton, but she was in the behind the headline story following the movie. And after that, they did Streets of Compton. So Lifetime just had a whole Compton type of night. So next on the list is obviously Michel'le, who the movie is based about. So she was Dre's girlfriend for many years, and I think at one point he said they were supposed to be engaged. She has a child by him and also a child by Suge Knight. So Michel'le definitely enjoyed a lot when she was with him, and I think there are other women as well that Dr. Dre beat up on. Next article I came across is from the International Business Time, and it kind of just gives like a couple lessons that we learned from the biopic. So one is that Michel'le was raised in South Los Angeles. We saw that in the movie. We saw her Mimi also tell her, she should kind of just stay there and take the beatings because, all men have like some type of violence in them. I mean, at the end of the movie, she was like, never let a man hit you again. But, she was kind of raised with that mentality. And I also remember seeing Michel'le and Wendy Williams to sit down with her. And Wendy Williams, she gave the movie a 9, or technically a 10, but she said, 9 because movies always leave something out. But I think that she thought that the movie definitely showed another side of Dr. Dre, and she even said the movie gave a different meaning to Beats by Dre, so, kind of a play on words there. But let's see what else. What are the other lessons from this movie or things that we learned? So yeah, Michel'le revealed that although her relationship with Dr. Dre opened up a new world for her, she was very terrified at the same time. I definitely could see that in the movie. And it was just so hard to watch, to see her getting beat up on. Like I said, the actor or the actress who played Michel'le, she did a really great job. This woman has been through, quite a lot. And, even in the movie, you'd see, like, sometimes Eazy-E or Jerry Heller would step in or tell Dre to cool it. but Dre always did what Dre was going to do. And also in the movie you saw Dre was like sleeping around. He brought another woman in him and Michel'le's bed. He would lie about things, kind of brush it under the rug. And of course, as I mentioned, he's trying to sue now because the movie's portraying him in a bad light. But like I said, it's not, showing anything that we didn't already know. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, one of the big things, like during her time at rehab, Dre got engaged to another woman, and Michel'le didn't find out about the engagement till she returned home. And then after that, she began a relationship with Suge Knight. And it was interesting, when I was watching behind the headlines, one of the women talking, she was like, imagine having your baby's father being Suge Knight and Dr. Dre. Like, that's one heck of a combination. So, as I mentioned also, while Suge Knight was in jail, he said that he would divorce another woman to be with her, but it turns out, he never got divorced. It was all fake. But, the movie, it was, the Lifetime, I have to give it up to you, did a great job. I mean, I love Lifetime movies. I haven't watched in a while, but I remember, when I would be home or, even on the weekends, I would just tune into Lifetime. They'd give all the good movies, But I love that, you could kind of stay home and watch this and kind of see what was going on behind the story. Also from this International Business Times article, it says, although Michel'le had 3 top 40 hits during her time at Ruthless Records, Dr. Dre decided to take her and himself to Suge Knight's Death Row Records. Also, Michel'le had a substance abuse problem. So I know in the movie, also she would like come out and walk and talk during the movie. So she kind of like made her own appearance, alongside the character. But she said, she would self-medicate, and drink and take pills because it would make the beatings hurt less. And I think at one point, I don't know if it's like Eazy-E who called her, but someone called her and said, Dre's coming home drunk, get out of there, trying to warn her. Because everyone knew like how Dre's temper was. So, she definitely went through that substance abuse problem. And I know she wanted to get clean, not only for herself, but, for her young kids she had to raise. I just thought it was really interesting how this story was, left out of Straight Outta Compton, because essentially Michel'le was an honorary member of NWA, but even in this interview that I saw, when it was Dr. Dre and Michel'le, he kind of just like, pushed her to the side or, tried to, like, oh, okay, what are you doing here? Kind of just get behind, they're talking to me. But it was very interesting, to say the least. And I think I pulled up another article where they said something interesting. But yeah, so Michel'le said and this is from Vibe.com, where she's revealing her past relationship with Dr. Dre on The Breakfast Club. She said, I have 5 black eyes, I have a cracked rib, I have scars that are just amazing. It was normal. Everybody that knew it was the norm, she said. When he gave me my very first black eye, we laid in bed and cried. He was crying and I was crying because I was in shock, hurt, and in pain. I don't know why he was crying, but he said, I'm really sorry. He said, I'll never hit you in the eye again, okay? And so Michel'le also detailed the end of her and Dre's relationship, admitting that money and sex were part of the reason she stayed with him for 6 years. And also in the movie, I believe, Suge Knight, he did hit her. And then after that, he was like, I'm not going to hit you anymore. You're too small. But, she was bigger. Would that really make a difference? I don't think hitting women makes a man a man. I think it's the exact opposite. A real man should never hit a woman. So I didn't really understand that logic there. But like I said, I'm glad she's out of that situation. I hope she makes new music. I hope, she's finally come to peace. I think on Wendy Williams, she said her daughter Bailey was supposed to be visiting Suge Knight in prison. I don't know if it's like next week or this weekend, but I think she said she was going to let her kids watch Surviving Compton. So that's going to be interesting to see how that kind of goes down. But yeah, I mean, Lifetime, kudos to you. It was a great movie. I was glued to my computer screen where I watched all night. Had myself like a little coconut cream pie and sangria, and I just watched behind the headlines, and I was like, okay, Lifetime, I see you did a good job here. So I'm glad the women from Compton who were involved with like NWA and, you know, even saw this abuse firsthand and experienced it, were able to tell their side of the story and not be pushed back. And I did see Straight Outta Compton in theaters, and I thought it was a good movie. You know, it had entertainment value, but of course, you know, if like Dr. Dre and Ice Cube are putting the money up, who's gonna look like the good guys? You know, they are, because they're paying for the movie. So why would they make themselves, you know, look bad? So it's like, hey, if they can do that, Michel'le can do that too. So, you know, go ahead, Michel'le, do your thing. I think she did a phenomenal job. I hope that, you know, everything works out for her in the end. She's been through a lot, but I think that she has an important story to tell. And I think that speaking out about domestic violence is important, because a lot of women go through that each day. And definitely if you're someone, or you know someone who's going through that, you know, talk to them about it, and also seek help immediately and tell them to get out of that situation. I know Michel'le, a lot of the time during the movie, she'd come out and say, you know, I know you're thinking, why didn't I leave the situation? And then she'd either say something like she thought it was gonna stop, or, you know, she just didn't know what to do, or, you know, she would self-medicate. But, you know, none of those were the answer. You need to take yourself out of harm's way. And, you know, seek help, you know, seek safety. You know, no one should ever go through that. And just looking at the way Dr. Dre beat her up, I mean, I have to agree by Wendy when she said he gave Beats by Dre a whole new meaning. Like, okay, Dr. Dre, we see you. And the memes online were actually pretty funny, so you want to check that out, especially on Twitter. You know, I was just, you know, looking and seeing, okay, what is everyone else saying during the movie? So, well, I hope you guys had a chance to tune in. I'm sure that they'll put it online for people to stream again. And, you know, thank you again, Michel'le, for telling your story. And, you know, I really recommend you check out Surviving Compton, form your own opinions, but, you know, also just get both sides of the story, because, you know, Cube, Dr. Dre told their story in Straight Outta Compton, so Michel'le told hers, and, you know, that's what it is, and I'm glad she came forward. Alright guys, thank you for checking out this commentary. Please hit the like button if you like this video. Put in the comment section what else you'd like me to talk about, and I hope you have a great day.